Guitar time! Hey, I'm Robert Knoll. This is the part 3 of turnarounds. We've been talking, I've been lecturing you and talking to you about the importance of turnarounds and showing you, demonstrating some turnarounds. I want to look at what I call the Chicago turnaround. And I call it Chicago probably because I heard it a lot in Chicago blues bands. They would typically use this turnaround a lot. And it's used, and you can use it. And it may be to help you with some more ideas and turnarounds. So I want to take the D7 form, that 2-1-3 form, and I want to move it up to the 8th position. So you see here, my first finger is on the 8th fret, happens to be on a G. My second finger is on an E note on my G string, and my third finger is on C sharp on the high E string. So I've got this 2-1-3 pattern. And this D7 pattern is really important because it's movable. In this area here, I would call this an A7 no root, because I have the 5th, I have the 7, and I have the major 3rd. So I understand the intervals. And I'm going to move this A7 chromatically down, A flat to a G's, and then when I get to the G7, I'm going to do an A 3-note A chord. So this would be the major 3rd, perfect 5th, and root. 3, 5, 1, inversion, right? Sounds great. So if we use this chromaticism again, A, I'm hitting 2 A's as an intro, 1 and then I'm doing a down, up, down. Now that's a triplet. 1 and 2 and I'm strumming down on 3 notes, up on 3 notes. Now, how about the 12th bar? Yeah, I could do that. Just what we've been doing. That would be typically and sound good. 2 and a 3 and a 4. 1 and 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1. It's good to count. Good to say the down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down. That down is accented sometimes. Right? So, this turnaround, you could play at different speeds. You could also reverse it, starting on the A. The G7, A flat, up to A7. So you made, it could be very possible that if you were playing with another guitar player, one guy is going up from A and one guy is going back from A7. That may work out nice. You should try that. Sometimes these counter motions sound really good together with the keyboard player doing something different and a guitar player or some other instrument. So it's a wonderful thing about turnarounds. So I also want to say that besides strumming this down, up, down, I could pick these notes. I could hit the A, and this is kind of like the Jimi Hendrix Red House. So I'm just going to do a down, up, and then a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 1. So my pick is going down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, and then I could also do it as just these 2 fingers here, the interval of 6. I could hit the A's, maybe pick up notes, and do like a staccato. I could do these two notes, which would be the 5th and the 7th. And reverse. So there could be different speeds to blues too. So this pattern that I've been showing you here, the Chicago, is movable. To G. If I was in the key of E, I'm going to hammer that G sharp with the open B and E string. You start seeing the chromaticism. Remember I showed you the E7 moving down? Well, here's your E7, but moving down on the higher pitches, higher E7, ending on a little E7, which is your E7. And you might end up on a B7 chord. So we could do arpeggios, different pickings. There's a lot to experiment around with turnarounds. That's what makes them interesting. You might see a guitar player play, a blues guy or someone playing it, and you'll go, wow, listen to all those turnarounds. The different turnarounds make it really interesting. So it can add a lot of interest. And you've got to play them at different speeds. Very, very slow blues. It could be really, really fast, super fast. Funky blues could even have turnarounds in it. So this was another part of turnarounds today. We know that the Chicago style turnaround, I call it Chicago style, is reversible. It can be turned around. Okay? So I hope you've learned a little bit more about turnarounds. I want to do another video on turnarounds. The next video will be about doing more with chords in the turnaround. Okay? All right. Guitar time. You're learning, and hopefully you're learning to be consistent and diligent, and you're learning to go on adventures, explorations. It's a good thing to do when you're learning guitar. Look at the patterns, understand the intervals in everything you play, and you're really going to learn a lot. Look at the technique, look at the skills that you can develop. The more you play them, the more you research them and work with them, the better you get. All right. Yay!